Hey everybody, welcome back to my garage. OK Fixer here. Okay, now that we've got the title and the tag and the insurance problem taken care of, we can actually start working on the car. So I've taken all the fenders loose again. Forgot that one back there. But we're going to have to take those off, and we're going to have to address all these areas underneath the fenders and the underside of the fenders. All this will have to be prepared because I have one quart and I have the proper hardener to go with it. So once I mix it up, it's a moot point whether I can use it again. It'll be done. There's a lot of things I don't have, a lot of things I do have. So we're going to go as far as we can. I will tell you this, I've been driving this a little bit, driving it around a little bit, and I have determined that the transmission is on its way out. It pops out of gear in reverse. You hook it in reverse and take off, and you let go of the gas, and it'll pop out of reverse. So that's starting to tell me that things are starting to wear out in it. And then also it's got this ballsy, rumbly kind of a sound in it that it's not my wheel bearings and it's not my CV joint. So I know it's that transmission. And then I discovered also that it doesn't have a I hit myself in the ass for this. It doesn't have a bushing pressed into the for the starter nose, so that the starter, it goes all askew, and that's why it makes that noise and it grinds sometimes. So that, and then also the both sides of the CV axles are leaking. Both those seals are leaking, so it might as well get another transmission. Rancho has them for $1,000. And I'm just going to have to belly up to the bar and buy one, because I'm not putting another used transmission in this with all that problems, because you have to take the engine out and all that stuff. That being said, I'm going to take the rear fenders off and just leave them off. I'll paint everything and whatnot like that, but I'll go as far as I can until I run out of money, or run out of parts rather, because I don't have any money right now. And in the dead of the Biden winter, and we're we just don't have any work. Everybody's afraid to spend money. So that's where I'm at right now. We'll take these fenders off and we'll start addressing everything underneath them. We'll be able to get the front fenders on. I do have a bumper. I do have the bumper mounts for the front. We'll be able to completely have the front end, the fenders welted, and everything painted and that kind of thing finished. But the rears we're not going to put on, because it's so much easier to get up underneath everything with those rear fenders off. So we'll do that. I'm going to start back here because it's the worst. It hasn't went through. I did do a little welding right there, and it's not completely perfect. It's kind of permeated a little bit, but it's strong. I'm going to put some seam sealer in that, and we'll wire wheel all this stuff. And I'll throw a little tape on that first. I'll probably tape it like so, or whatever, and that way it doesn't get up into the patina so much. And I'll have 2 layers of tape, one higher and one lower, and then as we spray it with a little bit of white, we'll take that line off, and then we'll dust it a little more up on the, you know what I mean. And this is all metal here we put in, but I'm going to fill it with some fiberglass. So it'll have 1/8 of an inch of fiberglass in it or something like that. And if I have to, I'll put a little top coat of polyester on it, or Bondo, to take out any, does it really matter, pinholes. Okay, so we've got a little burn spot here. Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. First thing, let's get that ground down a little bit, and we'll put some fiberglass on it, let it dry, we'll cheese grate it, and see where we're at from there. That's going to be close enough for rock and roll. That's good enough for me. It's got a pretty good transition. There's some small little pinholes, but that's not going to matter because everything's going to be flat. It's not going to be shiny. She'll look just fine. I know what you're thinking. Why don't you just spray it on? Well, I don't have any thinner to clean out my gun, and well, I'm going to go up to the store get some thinner, but I need to get this stuff on here and then give it a chance to dry. By the time I come back, it'll be dry, and I'll have some thinner so I can spray some base coat on there. Kind of a hokey way to do it, but it works. Little more. We need to mix that up a little bit more, but that's kind of a. I was pretty close. Okay, probably there was some rust on this, and somebody sanded it and then sprayed it with some brown primer. So I have a big area here of brown primer. Well, what we're going to do is, I've kind of taped this quarter glass up, we're just going to kind of dust that, and we're going to leave as much of the red as we can, and we're going to dust that bottom right there, and we're going to kind of blend it with a little sandpaper, so there'll be a little cloud at the bottom, a little cloud at the top, and a little red in there. And remember, we just have to color it a little bit because our main protectant will be the flat clear that we use. So let's get after that. I don't know where the top went to this, but you don't really need it. You just better keep her straight. I didn't put a lot in that cup, so we'll look at spraying. Give it your best Bob Ross. Kinda, let's see here, we can go up there a little bit. About right there. Kinda dust that a little bit. Just kind of dust that a little. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to let that dry a little bit overnight, and then I'll do a little sanding on it. My goodness, what a beautiful morning. Look at that. Is that just glorious? It's supposed to be in the 60s today. 60s tomorrow. Tuesday also. Just an absolute glorious morning. You know, no matter what is going on in this world, that's always going to rise. and it don't care. Back to work. Now, I'm not a professional, nor do I play one on TV. That coupled with not giving a damn, you know, I'm going to put a little rust in that. I did a little number on it with a Scotch-Brite and kind of knocked it down a little bit, and so we'll knock the rust down a little bit. But I got to have a kind of a something to go along that bottom there to kind of knock that out, so it's not so such a, you know, smack in your face. So we got that painted. We're going to let that flash off, and we'll do a little Scotch-Brite work on it. You know, after it flashes off, might be a day or two. In the meantime, what we're going to finish now is the red. So I got to think about all the things that I need red, because once I pot that up, it's you know, it's a goner. So we're going to do that all in brush. Underside of the fenders. Fenders need a little knocking work. They need to be knocked out a little bit. There's a couple of spots that need to be welded, and I think there's some spots inside also, inside the car, that need to be painted also. So we'll figure all that out and we'll start painting. Okay, this is right rear, left rear, and there's a couple of spots on here that are that need some addressing, and I'm going to cut a couple of pieces of sheet metal and just put it underneath here and give it a tack and throw another you know, drill another hole in there and give it a tack on either side and call it good on both of these. I'm going to grind them down a little bit with a wire wheel. It's not rotted through as far as the actual fender itself. And I'm going to do this to all these fenders that need this. There's a broken spot right here, and I'm going to do the same with that. I'm just going to sand this down and put a little patch panel and just put a couple little tacks, 4 little tacks, just to keep it from blowing out. This is pounded over. It needs to be pounded back. Just you know, just enough to make it functional. One of these fenders has got a wrinkle right here. I think it's a front one, and then it has a crack up through here, so the fender is flexing. I'll have to fix that as well. That's all I'm interested in. So this original color would have been that, kind of a cherry color, pretty. And then all that rust and stuff, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it. So there you go. All right, let's get after that. be all right. I sprayed a little red spray paint on that, and then I'm just going to kind of grind it all into it. So essentially, when you grind that spray paint in there, even on the rusty surfaces, you get it way down in those pores. You get it packed down in there really good. You're just not putting a coating on top. I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to put a final coat of some brushed enamel on it that's catalyst cure. But I've got the other 3 fenders to do also. So I'm going to do those, not bore you with that, and then we'll get painting them all. So it took me a couple of hours to hammer out all the foo bars in these fenders, and you know, get the edges rolled, you know, just reasonably, you know, I mean, just some sort of, you know, so it looks like a Volkswagen. And welded up some, oh, that was good, welded up some braces, and like right here in these bottom holes here, I welded up some pieces in them, and just every one of the fenders needed some love. So it was a couple of hours, and what I'm going to do is I'm just painting this with this cheap catalyst enamel, just so I have a protectant underneath it. And I did an old grind on every one of them, you know, kind of like with a wire wheel, and shot some enamel on it and ground the enamel into the rusty spots or the bare metal kind of thing. So that's where I'm at now. So let's get these done. Okay, I've got those all painted, and painted underneath and I had quite a bit of paint left, so I'm going to do my floor pans in red. So, yeah, great. December 21st. Just another glorious morning. Just absolutely glorious. 38 right now. 61 today. Supposed to be 63 or 4 tomorrow. The big ice storm that we had, there was a directive come down from high, and OG&E, Oklahoma Gas and Electric, cut all the trees in the easements for any electrical line. So they just zapped them all. So the trees are really sparse in Oklahoma to begin with, and now they're really sparse. They just whacked them right off. They just cut them right off. If it's on the easement or if it's in the electrical lines. However, if it's in your own yard, like this one, you can see how they got taken down. They just broke right off. Crazy. Anyways, glorious morning. Glorious. Just beautiful. You can't print these. Look what I got today. And it only took 7 months. Is that insane or what? 7 months. Okay, they're rebushed. You know, when I get a crank, I'll have to see that the sides are okay too. You know, but there's quite a bit of play there. I think you can take 0.010 of an inch play between, like, maybe 6 to 14 or 18 to 0.008 of an inch or something like. There's a lot, 4 to 14 or something in between those. So probably these rods are just fine. But I got them rebushed, and I got my pin back. I had to give them a new pin. out of a set of pistons that I had. So that's good. Got the rods to the engine I'm going to build for that one. I need to take and contact this guy and see. He's had my case almost as long as this guy has had my rods, and he hasn't done anything with it. So I need to contact him and find out what's going on. But we got those so we can set them aside. And what we're going to do here now is we're going to tape things off, and I'm going to shoot the roof and the front, probably not the rear. In the event that we get any water, and I've got some rust up here too. I don't want to get it wet anymore, and need to get some clear on it, get some sort of protection on it. So I want to do that and do my fenders. Then I'll be able to put the front fenders on it and the welting, and put it in the backyard until I find some money, because I'm going to need whole bunch of other stuff for it, including a transmission. So, all right, let's get after that. Okay, I'm just going to do this with a Scotch-Brite. There's a couple of spots here that I got some of that red base coat on. I'll probably hit that with a little bit rougher sandpaper. We're only doing from this forward and the roof. So, well, it's only about 60 degrees out today, so I put this in some hot water, and I have another can also. The neat thing about painting with this is it's clear, and if you get any runs, you just wipe them off with a paper towel and everything's fine. We put a little paper there. I'm going to be shooting the roof this way, and I'm going to be shooting the hood this way. So we'll be fine. And I'm going to wear a mask. A mask? What's a mask? You mean we got to wear masks? Oh, that's beautiful. Just give it your best Bob Ross. Oh, glorious. Yeah, I'm going to get a little clear on my glass. I can always clean that off with a razor blade. I'm okay with it, as long as it doesn't take a direct hit. Even if it did, I can clean it off. Right, oh, okay. And the roof. Yeah, that's nice. All the rust and patina's there, and it has a little bit of protection on it. Every year you could just shoot a little more on it if you wanted to. It wouldn't matter. Okay. I've got, next thing I'm going to do, we're going to put the headlight tubes through, and wiring, and put the front fenders on. How do you get these tubes through those two wires? Well, you don't. Take them off your fuse panel, and then put a little bit of the old silly ha-ha on there. There you go. Just like that. See? Then you can push your ground wire in. Oh, of course you've disconnected your ground wire, and make them about the same. And then you're not swearing and yelling and cutting and that kind of thing. See? Oh, and we just take these and we just throw them up there and they'll magically work. Now just plug them back into your fuse panel. Because this side is tied into another harness, looks like it goes down. I think it's a brake lights or something. But because that was there like that, I put a couple of pieces of wire through there, tied the ends to it, and then I just pulled and they came through. So this one was a little bit more difficult. Still going to take my ground wire and shove it up through that way. Alright, well, I'm over on this side, and I had somebody comment, your speedometer isn't working well. It's because I don't have a speedometer cable on there. I ordered another grommet for right there, but it's disappeared. And so I went back and I looked in the 67 stuff, knowing that the Magic Pixies in my garage would have taken the one for the 67 as well as the one for the 69. It's not giving back the one for the 69 yet, but it did, or they did give back the one for the 67, which ironically is the same part number. So I'm going to use this one. You know, it's not too hard. When I get parts, I put them in a cardboard box. And when I go to look for the parts, they are not in the cardboard box. Although I remember taking them and dropping them. Now it's highly possible that they defied gravity and went off and floated off. Or when I dropped them, they picked up speed and defied gravity, and now they're in Norman. I don't know. Okay, the little schnozzles that go in there are missing. I'll have to completely disassemble my garage, or I tell you what, we'll give the Magic Pixies. What will make the Magic Pixies in my garage, give them back, is I'll just quit looking for them. That's guaranteed. That's guaranteed. Now, I'll be tripping over them then. Do you have Magic Pixies in your garage? My garage is rife with them. I have not found a cure for them yet. I have not found a way to get rid of them. I just don't know. Anyways, okay. Enough ranting. I stuffed these wires in there. Now, you would think that this piece goes in there and vice versa, but it is not so. It's supposed to go in there, but it doesn't go in there. I wonder if this will go in there. No, this is too small too, so I don't know what I'm going to do. It's almost like these are wrong. Let's see what the bags say. Curious if I can find another bag. Oh, look at that. 64 to 69, dude. These are some Rock Auto aftermarket stuff, so what you can do. Here's where I'm at. Here is I've got the ground wire just disappeared. I'm going to put that up through there, and that way I can, push it through. Yeah, okay. So I have seen that this part will fit up into this part quite nicely, so I'm pretty certain that's the way it's supposed to go. Probably end up having to run some urethane on there in order to get that to be held in place. But it got this all set up where we're ready to hang the fender with a couple of bolts. Okay, it'll only go one way. If you start it and it's all wrong, turn it around. It'll be all right. Okay, I kind of tucked that around there and then tightened it up, and then it won't look too bad. I kind of got it snugged up, and then once you got it snugged up, then you can give it a good crank, and you're gonna have a little left over here, and you can just cut it off. Okay, you can get your wires with a pair of needle nose. I have mine marked also left and right, and it says BW, so I know the black and white wire go on there. Got this backwards. It's going to have to go like that. And the ground, of course, is the brown one. So let's get that on there. There you go. Beautiful. Nice and strong. Got the fender welting on, the light on. Beautiful. And like I said, I park it out in the backyard and I'll find those. But not right now, you certainly won't. Okay. Nice, nice patina. Yeah. Beat that all out. Yeah, that's great. That looks great. Okay, let's put the other fender on. Clips for the VW symbol, and then I've got some molding clips. We can put our moldings on. At least the ones up front. Nice. If I can do this on one hand. Nope. Well, there she is. And bring her outside, park it in the backyard, and clean up the garage. Hey, look, the speedometer works. Okay. I'll be able to get that truck out. Should be okay right there. Be able to get that out. Okay, well, that's about all I can do. I gotta save up and get a transmission. Disconnect that's for sure. So, yeah, be end with this. Be the last video with this for a little while until I get some money. Probably gonna work on that truck next. Need to put the axles in it. That won't cost anything. Alright. Thanks for being with me, and thanks for wrenching on this old beast with me, and we've come a long way. Come a long way. Oh, something I wanted to check this out, see if this works here. Let me see here. See if I can make this work. Come on, Granny. Get some antennage going on. There you go. I'm gonna need power. Oh, I forgot to tell you. I swapped around the fuses for in the fuse box, so the radio's powered all the time. It doesn't power on until you turn it on, so it doesn't matter. But I like it where I don't have to turn on the ignition and burn my points up. Let's see what we got here.
Evidence that he's done anything wrong. We all know that Hunter Biden, there's no evidence of any wrongdoing with him. Hunter Biden did nothing wrong.
There's no evidence of wrongdoing by
There you go.
Biden.
Hunter Biden is
fabulous.
Peripheral.
AM radio. That's great. It works. Okay, guys. I'll see you guys later. Bye. I told us so. I told you so. Yeah, I told you so. Told you I'd find them. They were in that box. But they weren't in the box. But they were in the box. But they weren't in the box. Because I took everything out of the box. And then, all of a sudden, they're in the box. Remember, everybody, no matter how bad it gets, it doesn't really matter. There's a time you're going to live, and there's a time you're going to die. And you have to reflect back on what you have and be grateful for what you have and be happy with that. You don't get everything. You know, it's just the way of the world. It's how it is. This isn't heaven, but though there is a heaven. So think about all the great blessings that you've had throughout the year. I didn't get sick. My business still did pretty good. I didn't lose my business. I certainly didn't starve. You know, had a beautiful new grandbaby. Shoot, life's pretty good. So think about the wonderful, great blessings you have and how great this country is. And have yourself a Merry Christmas. See you guys later. Bye.